for project 8-4 68th tooth rear sprocket, which is in metric. We're going to begin with opening up a metric template. So under your, where it says start new drawing, you'll have an option for templates here, and you're going to choose the AutoCAD ISO DWT. Basically what this does is it sets it up in a metric system, so all your numbers will be very large for the metric style. So we begin with our layers. So we'll go to the layers property and we'll type object. Object line is a number 7. It's continuous. The line weight is 0.50. Next layer, hidden. The hidden lines are a number 1. The line weight is a 0.30. Next layer, center. Center lines are a number 2, which is yellow. Same thickness. We go to hatch. That's a 4, which is cyan. The hatch thickness should be default. Next layer is notes. The notes should be a number 3, which is green. Notes should be a 0.30. And lastly, dims for dimension should be a number 2, and it should be default. The last part, I need to load my line types for hidden and center. So I'll click on line types. I'm gonna load the center, and I'm gonna go back and load hidden. And I'm working with the hidden line layer now, so I'm gonna hit OK for that one, and then the center, choose center, and OK for that. Alright, so that completes the layers. Close this box out. Now for this particular drawing, I'm going to use the circle command and do a series of circles using the center line layer. So I'm going to go with circle. My center point, I'm going to use the origin, 0, 0, which should be on the X and Y. And my first diameter will be D, enter for diameter, 55. That'll start my circle in the middle. And actually, that circle is an object line circle. So I'm going to switch that to object. So all you have to do is select it and then hit the object line. Now my next circle, I'm going to use the center point as my clicking point. And my next circle is going to have a D for diameter. You're going to type 72.78. Now on this center line circle, there are 2 circles that we need to draw. The first circle, I'm going to place it, I'll switch it to object, and I'm going to place it at the very top. I'm going to type D for diameter. This particular circle is going to be 9.47 in diameter. We'll go back to my circle command, and this time I'm going to click to the bottom and do D for diameter, and this particular one will be 7.85. Alright, so next will be to do the array. The array will be a polar array. I'm going to select the top circle, press enter. I'm going to choose the base point in the center of the circle. For this, it'll be 5 items. So at the top, 5 items. And you're going to turn the associativity off if it is on and close the array. You'll do the same for the small circle. So go back to polar array. You're going to click the small circle at the bottom, press enter. The center point will be your axis. Again, this will be 5 items. And again, associativity should be off and close the array. I'm going back to my circle command with another center line circle. So I'm going to the middle, click the center point. My next circle is going to have a diameter, so D for diameter of 132.76. And I'm going to switch it back to object. On this circle, I'm going to choose the right side, type D for diameter, and that particular circle has a diameter of 24.84. I'm going back to my polar array, select the circle, press enter, choose the midpoint. This will be 10 items. And again, make sure associative is off and close the array. I'm going to switch back to center, going to circle, choose the center point again, and my next ring will be a D for diameter 227.7. And again, I'm going to switch back to object. I'm going to choose the top part of the circle as my clicking point, D for diameter, and my large circle will be 55.36. With that, I'm going back to polar array, click the circle, press enter, click the center point. It will be 10 items, and close the array. Again, I'm going to go back, switch this to center, go to my circle command, click the midpoint, D for diameter, and my next diameter will be 287.57. I'm going to switch back to object, go to my object command, I'm going to choose this corner. D for diameter, and the diameter of that circle will be 15.9. I'm going to go to my polar array, click on the circle, press enter, choose the center point. The number of items is 10, and close the array. I'm going back to center, again to my circle command, click the midpoint, D for diameter, and my next diameter will be I'm sorry, 21. We'll hit enter a second time. Click the center point. D for diameter. And my last diameter will be 354.57. So I created 2 rings of circles out here so that I can prepare my tooth inside of it. So this outer ring, I'm going to change that actually to object now because I want to use the topmost part of it. Then next, I'm going to take this and I'm going to split it in half like that. And I'm going to switch it to object. Alright, to prepare this tooth at the top, we're going to do a series of offsets possibly to get this going. So I want to start with trying to determine what is half of 5.58. So I'm going to go to my calculator. 5.58 divided by 2 is 279. So I'm going to go to offset 2.79. I'm going to click this line over to both sides. Now actually these lines need to be object. Alright. So my next thing is to create my bevel edges on both sides. To do this, I'm going to trim some things first. So I'm going to type the word trim, hit enter, and I'm going to get rid of this little line at the top. Also, I'm going to get rid of the main circle because I don't need it anymore. So now I can go to my chamfer command. I'm going to type a distance. Actually, I'm not going to type a distance. I'm going to use the angle option. So press enter twice for that and go to angle. The distance will be 1.5. And the angle will be 45 degrees. I'm going to type M for multiple and I'm going to click both corners, which it's not going to let me do it because it's a curve here. So to prepare this, I'm going to go in a backwards direction 1.5 and then I'm going to go at an angle of 45 degrees in a downwards direction. Now here what I'm going to do is extend the line. And then I'm going to delete my helping line. And now I'm going to use the trim option to get rid of the corner. And that created my bevel edge there. What I can do is take this and mirror it to the other side. So I selected it. I went to mirror. My mirror line will be the yellow line that I've created down the center. And it brought it to that side. And I can go back to my trim option to get rid of the corner. Now, finally, we have this arc that comes off the sides. To prepare this, what we'll have to do is down down at the very bottom, I'm going to draw a line outward, just something to kind of help prepare it. And I'm going to use the option tangent radius. So I'm going to click on that option. I'm going to click this line for my tangent, this line for my second tangent, and actually before I do that, I want to hit escape. I need to do one more thing. Prior to this line, I should have extended my original line. So I want to delete that line. I want to type the word regen, R-E-G-E-N, to smooth out my circle. And I'm going to make sure that my line is extended to my other circle. So I'm going to hit the extend button there for both. Now that it touched, I'm going to draw my new line out again as to help prepare it. So now I go back to my tangent radius. So this is my first tangent. That's my second. And the radius of this will be 5.2. So create a circle off the edge. I still don't like this. So I'm going to undo this. I'll try one more method before I go back to that. Let's try one more time. Tangent here off the circle. The radius is 5.2. Alright, so that's a lot better. So what has happened is I've created the arc with that radius tangent to the circle and to this line, so that when I duplicate it around the circle, it will have a round shape. That straight line would not give me the round shape that I need, and it could possibly have a gap in between each tooth. So from here, I'm going to type the word trim, press enter, and delete the parts I do not need. So that creates that side. I'll do the same for the opposite side. So tangent radius here to here. My radius is 5.2. It prepares the circle for me, and I'm gonna go to my trim option and delete the part I do not need. So that completes the tooth. So from here I can delete my helping line, and next will be to array it. So I select the entire tooth, go to polar array, choose my center point. For the sprocket, it'll be 68 items. And again, make sure associative is off and close the array. At this time, you have a complete drawing of your 68 tooth.